Okay. Hello, 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 everyone out there. My name is Vaibhav Ali. This is Aura 8 brought to you by Cryptonite UAE. And we have two great guys. We have Lewis. Uh, the only reason why I'm calling Lewis is that I don't want to mispronounce his name. And we have Arun from Maze. Guys, how is the energy? How's the Bitcoin price? How's the mining going? Give us all the information. Let's start with Lewis.
So yeah, to start off, of course, the Bitcoin price is amazing. Mining is amazing, and every day and day I get more inquiries at this moment of the bear market. Like, how far are we going to go? How deep is it? What is it? What is it? What's going on? For me, it's only one thing. The best time to get into this market is now, because as you feel, the fear is everywhere, right? And it always gives me twinkly eyes, because that's the moment where we have to get in and expand, people. It's very simple. Like, I don't care what the price does.
Absolutely. You know, there's a very interesting saying that when the others are running away, you need to step in because there is where you can actually get it done. But it can also backfire. It depends on how much you know about it and how much you understand. But could you give us an intro and a brief on what you are doing in the space of Bitcoin and why is it important?
I don't know if it's important, but I think it is. But to narrow it down, we are basically a very niche company, and we built private sites for ultra high net worth individuals mostly. So it's very niche. This year we're also starting a fund, because we see that institutionals don't really like the technicalities of everything, and I noticed that fund structure is something they would happily step into, but owning all the infrastructure, miners themselves, etc., it's yabbity-doo, yabbity-ga, abracadabra for most people. And so I wasted a lot of time in my life trying to educate institutionals while it's actually pointless, and they just want to have a fun.
Well, they say experience is like a comb given to a bald man, but clearly not in the case of Lewis. He's learned it quickly, and now he is going to, go to institutions and tell them, hey, you know what? I'll make you money. How? Like this. Why I'm the right guy? Because I've already been doing this. It's as simple as that.
Yes.
Arun, tell us what have you been up to and what cool stuff are you doing? So Arun actually, I've seen what Arun does, but I will let him explain because if I explain, it would exactly sound like what Lewis said. Abracadabra, it'll sound gibberish. So Arun, I'll let you explain it to us.
Thanks, Wally. Thanks for the wonderful opportunity. Uh, First of all, like Louis said, the Bitcoin price is low. We shouldn't see that as negative, but instead, it's another opportunity to get in. Those who missed the opportunity back then, it's the next another opportunity to get in. To give a small background about me, I am a tech entrepreneur based in Dubai. I started with AI in Dubai, and AI pushed me into mining, then turned into hardware manufacturer. So as of today, we are the only and successful hardware manufacturer based in Dubai. Now we have a facility in Abu Dhabi as well. So we basically manufacture the liquid immersion cooling and hydro cooling enclosures for Watts miner specifically, also for Bitcoin. This is our specialty, and we serve governments and institutional mining companies. That is our main market. And this year, we are releasing a product for home consumer market, where anybody can mine from their home, which will not produce any heat or noise. It will be super quiet. You don't even notice it is there, and it's child safe, so it can be at every household. Now, today's topic is very interesting
No, no.
about AI.
Let me ask you those questions, right? Let's not turn this into a monologue. Uh,
Sure.
no, now, this is very interesting, right? People do the opposite, where they get into mining and then they get into AI. But then your journey has been the opposite. You know, you did mention that your home miner, but I thought your home miner was an older concept, right? You didn't release it earlier, or what happened? Or this is a V2?
Yes, this is V2, but V1 we didn't release it because I want to make sure it is child-proof, child-safe, because it's
See,
gonna sit in every house. So for the last 2 years, we were testing, we were improvising, and as you might have seen 2 years ago, the product is running still in our lab successfully. We want to make sure it's safe for every household.
I have the perfect daughter to be the test child for child safety. So if you want a real Spider-Man, then put it in a playground next to her and see if it survives.
no,
Nice, nice,
I was exactly going to say something similar because I have 6 kids,
6.
right? Yes,
Congratulations.
I have six
oh,
kids. So
nice.
it doesn't matter if my children are going to be safe. It is that machine is not going to be safe in my house.
Nice.
Well, we can
So
always
guys,
bolt it to the floor.
yeah, I'm sorry.
We can bolt it to the floor, of course. That's the only thing. They pick up and throw everything. But very nice story, by the way, Arun. Like, interesting.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
I will also give you an opportunity to to ask questions to each other just in case. But then any of you can take it, right? So Bitcoin mining as an industry is supremely advancing itself, right? Because when I started learning about Bitcoin mining, and of course, right, my knowledge is absolutely just barely scratching the surface. So your miners need to be updated quickly. So the guys who I know and the way they work is that they would use the miner maybe for 6 months or a year and then sell it to somebody else, right? Because upkeeping of these are really expensive, and there's an entire not just science going behind Bitcoin mining, but sorry, the math going behind Bitcoin mining, but also the economics of when to turn off the machine, when to turn on your miners, to figure out the pricing and stuff. Now, I just want to understand and would love to. Now, I have two guys with me, right? One who says, "Hey, hey, you can mine Bitcoin at your home," and the other guy's like, "Hey, give me your money, I'll mine it for you, and we'll split the profit." So this is a fantastic panel that we have here. But Louis, let's start with you and tell me that we have, I think, less than 1 million bitcoins to be mined, if I'm not wrong.
Hmm.
The difficulty of mining a bitcoin at today is the most difficult, and it's only going to keep getting difficult. So, what do you suggest somebody? And should they just buy Bitcoin or keep it, or should they invest with you and get into mining?
Yeah, very, very, very clear story. Well, for one, I think Arun and I will share this opinion, but this is an assumption that you don't need to sell your miner every 6 or 12 months. But air-cooled miners, they have a way less long lifespan and are more intensive in maintenance than hydro. We only do hydro, meaning meaning liquid-cooled mining, um, because you just have less moving parts. They're a bit faster, more efficient, but it's more expensive to get into. When I look at mining, I look at like a very long-term vision, right? Most of the clients we have, I always say, the richer they are, the longer of a span they are looking at to get returns on it. Um, so most retail clients, they want to make as much money as possible this month, right? That's their vision, and hence they are more inclined to let's say, gamble with money or want very quick returns. Billionaires, they're not looking to make a 1x this year, right? They look to make a decent amount for the next 20 years. And so it's a very different approach to a problem. So like you say, if you look at someone that wants to buy a miner in his house, they probably see that more as like a, in the beginning it will be Bitcoin lovers that have it as a gimmick to show everyone. I think this is an assumption again that it won't make a lot of profit because the household energy rates are way higher than what we can get on a big industrial scale. So those are all things that count. That being said, yeah, there's one cool thing very little people think about. Like you mentioned, there's only 1 million Bitcoin left to mine, right? So what will be the value of a mined Bitcoin that has never been touched, that only has one transaction from the block to the miner or the pool to the miner, in the next 10 years? Well, let's compare it to Pokemon cards, right? To rare Pokemon cards. So there's going to be institutions, pension funds, governments that want to be sure that they have Bitcoin in their treasuries that have never been in any dirty hands. There's only going to be 1 million left of those in the all of existence. So I think mining Bitcoin is not just how much money do you make right now, is what will that be worth in 10 to 20 years from now if you never touch it. And I think that's a very interesting thing to think about.
That's a very interesting angle, and I don't think I've ever thought about it because uh, now I understand that why institution they go to the minters directly of USDT, right? So that they know it's clean and it's
Correct.
not traveled via any dirty hands to say. So that's a very interesting thing. Arun, now what you have been doing is phenomenal. You're giving everybody an opportunity to mine in their house, right? Which I think will bring in more adoption. Yeah, as long as, but I think the mindset of anybody in and around crypto is how I can do 100x, which is clearly not going to happen. Uh, in fact, I have a very funny story. Back in the day when I came into Dubai, I went in for my driver's test. And if anybody has gone through a driver's test, I think Louis, you haven't because you were one of the lucky guys who converted your driver's license from Netherlands to here. Did you do that, or
Correct.
did you?
Yes.
So, my friend, you will not understand our pain, right? You will not understand that what majority of the people in Dubai go who perhaps are applying for a license first time or are from a country that drives on the opposite side of the road. And I went in for my test, and majority of the people fail their first attempt. By the way, majority of the people fail the first attempt. I'm sure Arun, you would have heard the stories of your friends and all of that. So maybe you can connect with me. We I went in. I was really scared, and I have this habit. When I'm scared, I start talking. So when I went in to drive, I told, Assalamu alaikum to my inspector. And these are guys, they're in their own world. They will tell you to take a left and right, and you have to just follow the instructions. Apparently, you shouldn't even strike a conversation with them. So I struck a conversation. Somehow I was able to, build a rapport. And when I park the car, the first thing that we want to do is like, tell me, like, did I pass? Did I pass? Did I pass? Uh, so I'm in that conversation, and he says, uh, you know, uh, which crypto do you think I should buy? Because I think I would have mentioned in my nervousness that I'm in blockchain, crypto and the stuff. I told him Bitcoin is the best, and then like the regular ones, Solana, Ethereum, BNB, and all of that. He says, I'm mining Bitcoin in my house. I'm like, what? He said, yes. Then he shows me app. He shows me a Phantom app. Sorry, Phantom wallet. He shows me a bunch of things. I'm like, oh, I know this guy. I'm okay. I know what you're doing. This is great. So we start talking, right? And I've forgotten because it kind of gave me a shock, right? That this guy is mining Bitcoin in his house. And then we started talking, and then after we did that conversation, showed the wallet and stuff, and then I was like, brother. Uh, Result. Pass.
Nice, 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 nice.
So I don't know if I drove well or not, but I definitely did speak well, and all thanks to crypto that I got my license here in Dubai, and that was a fantastic conversation, and it all happened to some machine of mining Bitcoin because locals have a massive advantage here in this country, which they should, where the electricity is way cheaper, right?
Yep.
That's the advantage that the government gives them. So Arun, now tell me that the machine that you're building, right? How soon is it going to make me a millionaire? Everybody in the chat respond. Isn't that the right question to ask?
Yeah, that's true. Um, like you well said, mining definitely will not make 100x. The reason why we do mining, when Bitcoin is 70,000 or Bitcoin is 100,000, Bitcoin is 200,000, we still buy the Bitcoin at 65,000 because that is our production cost. So basically, we don't want to buy in the market at a premium. So that's main reason why most people do mining today. If you talk about 10 years ago, sorry, 5 years ago, 7 years ago, the trend was slightly different. They mine, they sell to make money. But like Louis said, the trend is changing. Now, most institutions or large miners are doing mining to accumulate Bitcoins. Basically, they are buying the Bitcoins at a discounted price and a fixed price. As you know, business don't like uncertainty. In mining, you can almost be certain at what price you can buy the Bitcoins for at least next several years. Yes, like you said, we don't recycle the devices every 6 months, but we do every 4 years to 5 years. That is a typical recycling period for a hardware. It is not that hardware will be broken or will not function. It is by fourth year, you will see much more advanced and fast hardware available in the market, which makes sense for the institutions or large scale miners to recycle them. Then these lower end models goes to much cheaper electricity areas and like second hand market.
So
So
Arun,
to come to sorry, yeah,
good. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
to come to my products, we have not launched only because of the safety standards and protocol, which we are happy now. For the last 1 year, we are very happy with the version 2 and we are testing it. You will be surprised what is the reason I stopped from launching it. I somehow imagine what if somebody pushes it down, because it's like you can imagine it like a small air purifier at your home. That is the size of it. So what if a child pushes it down, like because it have a liquid inside. So that is the only reason I stopped from launching it. And we now have a complete seal. So even if you push it down, a child push it down, nothing is going to happen. So that is one product. But we have products for governments which we are selling, which are like 2.5 megawatt containers and 1.5 megawatt containers. So these are all mining containers. We specialize in liquid immersion cooling. And the good thing about our products, we designed for UAE and hot weather conditions like UAE. I come to the point where the challenge is heat and electricity. Yes, UAE is a very good place to do mining. The biggest challenge is the heat. So now we have solved the problem. And as you may know, Abu Dhabi has a
Yes.
large investment into Marathon Global has large investment in Abu Dhabi. So yeah, now like uh, if
Got it.
you yeah, please.
So uh, what I want to understand from you is from an institution point of view and from a consumer's point of view, centric point of view. Since to mine a Bitcoin, considering the average power cost, what would it cost a home owner versus what would it cost and like a high scale with like the entire data center, I think API and HI data centers, like what would it cost you, like what is the difference considering the electricity price is average, uh like okay, first thing, can I ask you if like how much electricity are you paying, Lewis, at your data centers, like per watt, like how's it like per unit?
Well, depends per country, right? So I think an average of around $6 per kilowatt hour across the world. Like that's like, and then if you make a large upfront payments, it goes down a little bit. But that's like average what you can get all in, right? So with all the taxes and things and blah 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 blah, you can have some offshore sites or stranded gas sites where you can get way cheaper, like 2.5 cents even, but large capex investments. So like a gas turbine costs $1 million per megawatt, right? And it's a lot of money for miners. But that also exists. So in the
Okay.
end, if you narrow it down, you're going to be between 5 and 6 point something cents on average, and retail would pay, if they would host there, between 6.5 and 7 point something cents. That would be like a sales point of view. Yeah.
So I'm just trying to understand from the retail point of view, because we are live on Binance Square and the other platform, but Binance Square is which is a hero platform, right?
Hmm.
We get about 100K to 500K views daily there. So I'm trying to understand from their point of view, if they want to make money, should they buy and host a device in the house, or should they invest in a token that perhaps is doing Bitcoin mining, or should they invest in a stock that is doing Bitcoin mining, or should they go ahead and give you their money, Lewis, where they
Mm.
can
Very good
be up
question.
for that?
Yeah, very good question. So it has to do with a few things. One is how bullish are you on Bitcoin in the next 5 years if you would start mining now? Because the more bullish you are, the more sense mining makes, because uh, your cost price will stay the same. You're basically DCAing in Bitcoin, but via infrastructure. Um, for an average price the next 5 years. So if you think it's going to go to 1 million and now you can mine at 55K, it will go average up, of course, a little bit, but never to 500K. Um, so then that's a way better choice. It also has to do you want to put all your capital into a Bitcoin right now, or do you want to also spread that out over the next 5 years and have more liquidity readily available? Which is also the case with Bitcoin mining, right? You don't deploy all the capital at once. Then also, how liquid are you, right? So if it's all your money you have, infrastructure, Bitcoin mining, it has risks. The power can go out. Governments can say it's no longer allowed to mine. You have to ship all the stuff somewhere else. I've been through everything by now in the last 8 years, and so there's operational risk attached to it, right? And can you handle that risk, or are you all in? If you are all in, then it's better to already have the asset in your hands, I think. And if this is just for you, instead of buying an apartment here and renting it out, I'm going to do it into Bitcoin mining, then that's a solid choice, right? Uh, but I would never invest into infrastructure or mining with everything I have right now, because it's capital intensive. It has its risks. But in my opinion, if you're bullish on Bitcoin and you have extra cash laying around and you're thinking of buying some shit coins or whatever, buy miners and just feel every day it will drip into your wallet, and it's a great feeling. It's like you feel like you're a central bank and you're printing your own money. It's really great. But that's the romantic side. There's also operational risk, and you have to balance that out. It's like any investment, like it's the same with real estate. I always compare it to real estate. It's the same thing. You're buying maybe an off plan, or you're buying a unit that, well, at least this one has guaranteed renters in it, right? Because Bitcoin miners always pay. But yeah, the power can go out, something can happen, cable can break somewhere in the area. loads of things can happen. I've seen it all happen once, and that's the risk you have to take. But yeah, there's risk in everything if you want to make money, right? So yeah.
I can clearly see how Lewis is so involved in the Dubai real estate market that he gave everyone an apt example of plan and the ready unit, which is a perfect. But Lewis, let me give you a number, right? An average guy, maybe if somebody has like $5,000 to $10,000 lying around, right? According to you, what should they do? Like you have to make the money, right? You're see as
Yes.
someone in your space, you have to make people money. So what do you think you would suggest somebody
Well,
who's got a
the miners have to make money. We just have to provide the chance to do it, right? That at least we facilitate. We basically co-host your device in our facility, right? That's basically what it is. Um, so this is also immediately a very important question when you offer services like we do. Like some people think we can influence how much a miner makes per day, but we can't, of course. But that's really something. So if you buy one miner, every day it will be a different income, right? It will go a little bit up, a little bit down. Difficulty shoot up and down, and it's every month it's something else. We don't control that as mining operators, by the way. Very important, everyone. Yes. So you could even narrow it down that basically we sell machines and we sell electricity, right? That's we aren't even as providers that connected to Bitcoin itself, although we mine ourselves, of course, else we wouldn't be in this business. But that being said, if you have 10K laying around and that's all you have to invest, I will be very honest, I wouldn't necessarily put it into Bitcoin mining because you are committed for 5 years. I think 5 years, if you have a maximum of 10K available and you kind of lock that in one thing for the next 5 years, and you don't have an easy way of making another 10K, I think that's pretty long for 10K. So with 10K, I think it's better to buy Bitcoin and just like now in the bear market, dip it a bit, sell it a bit higher, and when you have 100K, then you put 10K into mining. And then that way, that's just a better way of investing, right? I'm, by the way, not one of these people that does it this correctly. I would go all in on mining, but that's because I truly believe in Bitcoin. So, but it's not the smart thing to do, right? And it's because it has more risk than just owning a Bitcoin. You will get more returns than just owning a Bitcoin if Bitcoin goes up, but there's more risk and you're tied to it for a long period of time. And you have to first understand that, right?
can you give me some numbers? Let's just stick to numbers right now. If I have 10,000, okay, if I have $5,000, uh, and I want to explore mining, I want to play around mining. How much money can I make in $5,000?
Yeah, but it's very easy. I would say you will get in 5 years' time around 0.3 Bitcoin from that. Meaning right now that's whatever 20K or something.
In 5 years?
In 5 years' time, yes. But don't forget, you will also have to put down at least 5K in electricity cost in the next 5 years. It's always usually if you're around 5-6 cents that area, it's around 50-50. So you have an initial investment and you have electricity. So in the end, you pay 10K, and sorry, it's by the way, it's like 0.28 to between 2.8 and 2.5. It's right now, depending if you have the absolute latest miners or the ones that are priced well at the moment. And I think you should always go for the ones that are priced very well and not the most expensive new ones, because they're 4 times more expensive. And I never understand why it has to be that much more expensive, because it doesn't make sense. It makes sense if you have 10 or 12 cents electricity cost, but not if you have 6 or 7,
Got it.
etc.
So,
So
you know, yeah. So I just wanted the price. So we have got the price. So everybody watching this, don't think that by investing, 5,000 plus $5,000, you would get only 0.3 Bitcoin. Remember, this is in 5 years. And remember, the zero point 0.3 Bitcoin price is not going to be the same that is here today. Today, zero point 0.3 Bitcoin might be looking, oh, that's it, 5 years I have to wait. This is 0.3 Bitcoin in 5 years. And like we know, everybody, on the internet, that we see guys like Michael Saylor, guys, um, uh, I'm forgetting the guy from BitMEX. What's his name? Uh, the name. Right. So these the guys are saying
You
that
mean
Bitcoin.
CC from Binance, or
No, BitMEX.
I don't know anyone from BitMEX.
Okay, I'm forgetting his name. So every one are saying that Bitcoin will go maybe to a million, maybe to 500K. So think at that angle, right? Think at 5 years from now. Don't think right now. Arun, let me move to you and let me find out how much can I make if I put in $5,000.
Okay, there's a very good question. I like always you are very particular about the number. I watched many of your videos. You nailed down to the point, which
So
is good because
I'll okay. Let me take this compliment, and let me also tell you that, and tell all my viewers that I don't like to have vanilla conversation, right? Not that, but I'll tell you why. Because if you are not getting value, if you and while listening to a live stream, see, we go live every single weekday, and we bring in some of the best people in the world, and I'm talking to you guys like the co-founder of USDT. I'm talking to you about the chairman of Animoca Brands. I'm saying Michael Turpin. Every Friday we bring the godfather of cryptocurrency, and we talk about the Bitcoin cycle. We talk about the market. He's also written a very cool book, which I think everybody should go and check out. It's called the Bitcoin Super Cycle. When we're bringing these guys, right, the idea is to get maximum out of them, and I always keep pushing the bucket. I've also got into problems earlier with the founder of ICP, because I asked him on stage that how did you manage a community when your token fell from 500 to $5? I'm happy to take that risk, and the reason why I'm will take that risk in my life is because only amazing questions can give you amazing answers. So Arun, thank you for noticing that. I The check is in the mail, my friend. So thank you. But now tell us, how much money can I make?
sure. See, in general, based on the last, let's take 10 years of mining, the average return on investment is 2 years. It lies somewhere between 15 months to 18 months. For a very conservative number, better you can assume 2 years. So if you're investing 10,000 today, you can assume it to return by 2 years. 15 months to 24 months is what you get your money back. Then another 2 years is the profit that you're making. So in this due course, like Louis mentioned, you should have a reserve to pay your own electricity bills. Why? Because if you mine and sell, yes, you make profit. For example, like I said, if you take last month, the Bitcoin was 80,000, the production cost was 65,000. So you are talking about $15,000 instant profit. The moment you produce, you sell it in the market. You don't need any employee, no accountant, no salesman, no marketing. It's just you and the buyer, and the buyer is always there.
Louis, you
Instant
there?
$15,000 profit. But that is not what mining is all about. Mining is about you plan 2 years and you expect Bitcoin to hit, let's say, realistically, maybe 125 or 150,000 in next 2 years. So instead of you selling it today, if you reserve that, let's say, $5,000 additional to pay your bills for next 2 years, electricity bills, you're basically tripling your profitability, right? That is a strategy. It is not about making 100x. At the same time, come on, it's crypto, it's Bitcoin. You deserve a better profitability, not like running on a thin margin, right? Because like Louis mentioned, the Bitcoin comes with its own risks. The government can change policies, or your hardware may get into trouble. So many things are there. So the best way to get returns from the Bitcoin is to plan well in advance. The good thing about mining, you will not enter into huge loss. At the same time, you will not enter into huge profits. You can expect 2x, 3x over three years is very possible, and going it 4x depending on the halving and the price um, appreciation, maybe 4x 5x in 4 to 5 years. So this is practical, and that is why many investments are still growing in Bitcoin mining. If you don't mind, I would like to touch the AI because situations like this today, where global average mining cost of operation, basically the cost of operation, including the electricity, is the cost of producing a Bitcoin. If you take institutional miners like Mara or Core Scientific, etc., their average cost is around $75,000 to $80,000. Wherein if you are lean operator, you can bring the cost down to 65,000 to 70,000. So you ask a question about if I'm investing as a home miner versus an institutional miner. See, hope you may be aware of Do Telecom in Dubai, which is now made
Cloud.
mining accessible to retail market, right? So if you take that size of company versus a lean operator, they charge a premium. For example, Do charges a premium because they give you security, they give you safety, they give you peace of mind, right? Same like Louis, right? He is taking care of all the hurdles away from you. That company is taking care of the technology, risk management, all the hurdles away. So as an end customer, of course, you give away a little bit of a profit, but that gives you safety and protection for your investment. So for a home miner, it's a curve. It's like a U curve. So if you are a small scale miner, your production cost will be slightly higher because your hardware cost and maintenance is the unit metrics, right? Let's say you're spending $1,000 and you have only one machine. The $1,000 cost goes to that one machine. But if you spend the same $1,000, you can even maintain 10 machines. So your cost of operating one machine is $100. I'm talking about a labor cost, right? But you cannot manage hundreds of machines with a single person as a home user. So that time, a huge mining operation can benefit from unit metrics. So if you're a small scale user, to let's say 20 miners, 25 miners, it's really profitable. If you go beyond that, your management cost will increase. So that time, it is ideal to choose an operator like Louis, who can take care of things for you, because for them, the operating cost per unit is very low. So that profitability they can
Yeah, correct.
pass it on to the customers.
Correct. Yes. You're muted.
Sorry, your audio.
I was saying, Louis, I hope you're sending another check to Arun.
Yeah. I'm already rubbing his feet under the table. You cannot see it.
So, uh, can I just get the number? Because I've got the number from Louis. Now, if somebody now you're saying your machines are as low, the starting price is as low as $1,000, right?
No. See, you need to be very careful about this. What we are selling, like I said, is an enclosure. So what device you put inside that enclosure is totally up to the
Oh,
customer.
okay. So you are saying that you are okay. So okay. Thank you.
It's actually a great idea, because the only thing I had against always all those they made a lot of boilers and kettles with Bitcoin miners in it used for the heat, right? But I was always like, yeah, you can use that for 3 years, and then that miner is so old. But if you make it interchangeable, well, I haven't seen that before. That's a great idea. Yeah,
Okay,
I like it.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
You know,
the most important thing is, okay, I'll narrow down to your cost. See, right now I'll take the Do example because recently we are consulting for a client for an institutional purchase of Do's second phase. So for their unit metrics, if you're a customer, you're buying, they have the unit of 250 terahash per unit. So 250 terahash per unit, I don't want to discuss about the purchase price. You can check online for various suppliers, including Louis may shed some light there. So if you're buying a cloud package of 250 terahash, it is producing 0.000112, if I'm not wrong, yeah, which will be approximately $7.22 per day per unit. So in a month, let's say, or in a, make it a quick math, around $220 at current market price. But once again, I'm I mean, emphasizing on the point, we don't calculate in dollar. We calculate in bitcoins. So
Right.
it's your accumulation of bitcoins. So you sell when you meet your target price. So if you
So
ask me
you're
for a
saying
dollar number, I don't have.
for now on today's date. Are you saying, if I've got this right, if I pay 250 dirhams to due a month,
Hmm?
uh, no, sorry,
No,
what was the two?
250 terahash is a unit size.
Okay, and how much do I
If
have to
you
pay for it?
see right now they closed, so they don't have the price on the website, but
Approximately what was it earlier?
approximately, I think it's around $45,000 dirhams for 24 months, if I'm not wrong, but I'm not so sure. That is the um, um, first phase opening what they did.
Got it. Got it. So now, let's talk about something very important, which actually inspired even Vitalik to kind of move away from the mining. Right, the entire Bitcoin mining energy consumption is a net negative uh, for the environment, or it is the industry actually uh, moving faster towards renewable energy development by acting as flexible as possible, like always, or the buyers are like, they are still using as a last resort to curtail stranded power in this space. What do you think is the scene right now? And especially for you, because most of these funds also have some affiliation with the environment space going on. So I'm sure the first question that they would ask you is on this lens.
Yeah, so I actually think Bitcoin mining is one of the greenest industries in the world, but correct me if I'm wrong, internet. But
How?
no, it actually is. It
No, no,
actually
he's
is.
correct. 55% is on renewable energy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, yes, it's extreme. It's almost fully ran on, well, more now. I will Google the percentage right now because last time I checked, it was like
So does that mean that Vitalik made a big blunder by moving away from mining to the node structure?
yeah, so 56.7% of all Bitcoin is mined on complete renewable energy. So that's quite massive, in all honesty, if you look at the world markets. But I will gladly hatch onto this because I am not necessarily, I will say upfront, any advocate for perfectly green energy in all use cases because I don't think I don't think it's very useful in every case. I think it's been used in the past really more of as a sales term than that people actually care about what is renewable, right? Oil is also renewable, so what are we talking about? Um, but that being said, what I do find important is that you build things that are in connection with its surroundings. So let's say we have a site on Iceland. You see it a little bit in my background, which Iceland runs 100% on geothermal energy, right? So they use the environment to the best case possible. So it literally steam coming from the mouth of the volcanoes. And so in that case, I'm very much in favor of building there and using they only have geothermal and hydropower, and using those two and doing it in combination with everything in its surroundings as much as possible. So there we can reuse the heat of the miners because there it's a very cold climate. You can use the geothermal energy for power. We can use the heat for either district heating, greenhouses, or heating up pipes, drying fruits. You can name it, right? There's a lot of end use cases for this. Then on the other side, if you go to the UAE, here you don't have geothermal. It's not extremely windy. You only have sun. Well, solar is not good for Bitcoin mining because you require tons of batteries, which make it not that friendly at all, in my opinion. So what comes out of the ground here? Yeah, well, oil. So yeah, what's the most logical thing here to use for electricity? Oil, right? So more like gas. Actually, it's 80% gas here, I think. They also have a nuclear plant here that they are going to go much
Dhabi, you
greener in the
mean?
future. Sorry?
At Abu Dhabi or at your
Yeah.
facility?
No. It's in Abu Dhabi. So they have here a nuclear plant. They have one of the largest solar sites in the world. But there's a lot of experimenting still going on in which route they want to go. And of course, yeah, they have all the infrastructure for oil and gas, which is why electricity here is so cheap. So there's always a payoff somewhere. Now, if we go to, let's say, Russia, for instance, Russia has a ton of hydropower. The same goes for the Nordic countries like Denmark, Finland, Norway, etc. Then you go to the Netherlands, let's say, yeah, there we don't have anything except windmills, which is, in my opinion, a very stupid way of doing eco-friendly power, uh, because it's completely inefficient, and it's extremely actually pollutant after they are finished with the blades, because they just bury them underground. And so, in my opinion, the only thing that's really good for the environment, let's say, is hydro, geothermal, and the rest and nuclear. Sorry, those three. The rest for me is all a little bit blah blah. And so again, it's very. I like to work in the region. What is the natural resource there, and use that. And I don't care if that's necessarily green or not. Yeah.
Got it. Got it. Let's talk about a major, issue that the government, I've read that are kind of thinking, is about imposing carbon tax, or strict energy restriction, which is already happening. Do you think government should go ahead and impose a carbon tax, Arun?
So we are constantly working with several organizations, even government organizations. For example, one of our major project is to convert seawater into clean water using crypto mining. So theoretically, we will be able to produce around 20,000 liters per day with 1 megawatt of power. It's clean drinking water from a seawater. It's a byproduct. So will that be calculated against carbon credits? Yes, right? So Louis brought a good example in many countries, including Finland, Norway, where the district heating is a key requirement for the region, and many governments are working with mining companies to power the district heaters. So this is also considered as reverse carbon credits. For example, it was from one of the interviews with Marathon CEO, where they explained a 9 megawatt plant is heating 80,000 houses. Just a 9 megawatt data center for crypto mining is heating 80,000 houses just by a byproduct waste heat that is produced. So if you see the green impact, or both economical impact as well as the ecological impact, Bitcoin has came really far from how it was in the beginning and how it was conceived in the beginning. Especially another good point, like Louis mentioned, now even we are moving towards that. We started as a hardware company, then we are software company. For example, Now, if you see how we started and how we are today, our focus is to eliminate all the human interaction. We started mechanical, analog, then we digitize it. Now we are completely remotely operable. The next step, we're implementing AI. So the AI will run the entire operation. So it will do predictive analysis, predictive maintenance before it fails. So it will automatically manage when the cooling is required, how power is managed. So everything that we start in the beginning is not the same. So we cannot think the Bitcoin is still harmful. No, it's no longer that. That scenario has changed at least 5 years ago. Uh, as we saw now, 55% of Bitcoin is running on renewable energy. So it's more eco-friendly, and many countries are using it against carbon credits. And yeah,
Got it. So we are almost coming to an end of this. I think we should now start pushing this conversation to at least 2 hours, because when we are breaking this down in detail, I clearly feel in if in the past live sessions that 1 hour is not clearly enough. Right? In a 1 hour, we're just starting to scratch the surface. But then, what I want to know is, did Vitalik do a mistake by moving away from mining to nodes?
Yes.
Would
every
you say?
miner would say yes. See, it's a
Why,
kind of
why do you think he did it? To please the Gen Zs, or to please the environment activists, or was it a good business decision?
Louis, you want to add, or can I?
Yeah, go. Please go ahead. Yes.
See, every community and community host has the responsibility. There is no right or wrong. Is software wrong? No, it's not. Um, is it proof of stake wrong? No, it's not. Is proof of stake, if anything, even if it is a hardware or if it is a software, it is always about how many validators are there. Bitcoin and Ethereum before had, if not millions, at least tens of hundreds of thousands of validators. When they move it to staking, you narrowing it down to certain group of people who can afford to do that. As long as the number is high, there is nothing wrong. So it's only a strategic decision made by the um, dev group.
Arun,
But
Arun, I'm sorry, you're sounding very diplomatic, bro. Right?
it's
You know, let's not see. Lewis, like Lewis said, no. Right now, you are justifying why Vitalik did that. Right now, see, also what you're saying is true. Right? I'm not saying that it is not true, but I'm saying that, is moving to proof of stake, did it help Ethereum as a miner, or do you think it didn't help Ethereum?
I don't think it helped, because if you see the Ethereum price today, it's been stagnant for several years. It may skyrocket tomorrow or next year or 10 years later. We don't know. But if we would have continued with hardware, for example, the proof of work, we have seen that in Zcash, Litecoin, everything has the momentum because you are enabling and empowering a community, and you are creating an ecosystem where you have touch and feel of a device. In turn, it has a secondary market and tertiary market, which is indirect business around that market. When you remove all of that, you're narrowing down only to one business, which is software, and people who have money as a financial institution, which will automatically put all the community who believed in your initial stage, it's kind of you let them down. So it's kind of, yes, 60% it's not correct, but I don't think I'm a good judge to say it's
No,
right
no,
or
I think
wrong.
no. Now, don't say that. I think you spoke very well and gave a lot of clarity. Louis, do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you have a point?
Well, I'm very biased because I invested fully into Ethereum miners back in the day, and I was
Ah,
making tons of cash, and
must have hurt.
overnight
Must have
I
hurt
could
bad.
throw them all in the bin. And so I was I'm not the one to speak positively about it. But so I was one of those back then, a little bit younger. I wouldn't say young guy, but I was getting, I was mining it in the very early days. I was making an absolute killing in that. To think I invested maybe 4,000 euros, and so dollars, let's say 5K dollars, and this is one of those 5K moments. And then I mined like, I think like 19 Ethereum a month with that. Back, it wasn't worth that much back then, but I, if I could have been doing that for another 2 to 5 years, oh, nobody would know my name. I would have been retired, I think, by now. But in that regard, so that's one of those things. It's exactly what Arun says. They took away like the fun of mining, and that you as a young person can get into something like that, slowly grow your miners. Because I was using the mined Ethereum to buy more miners, I was really stacking it, building like my little own bank that was paying me money daily, and suddenly that's just ripped under your feet, and then you get some institutionals in and done, and closed casket. For me, that's not the way you treat a community. There's nothing wrong with institutional stepping in. I mean, I would too if I was an institutional, right? So yeah, of course I would. But it's just that a person. That's why I love Bitcoin, and because it doesn't have a CEO. CEOs can fuck things up, but it's true. It's true. Like every coin with a CEO, it always has a weird something going on. But Bitcoin, it's always the steady giant because there's no one to blame, right? And that's the whole. Well, that's also an important part of it, and proof of work. You need proof of work. You need an economy around the coin, else it's just a coin.
Very well said. I'm actually trying to quickly play a very interesting video. Unfortunately, I think I deleted that, but I should have it in the drive. By the time I search that, um, what do you guys think? What are some of the right questions that maybe I'm not? Okay, wait. I have found the video. So give me a second. Give me a second, guys. Give me a second. I really want to play this video for you guys because it is exactly what you guys mentioned. Actually, what Lewis mentioned. So let me quickly go here. And in the meantime, wait, I found it. Give me a second, guys. Let me play this for you guys. And
guy called Armuri Sachet and maybe another developer who basically said, okay, screw it, we're just going to fork Bitcoin
sorry,
and we're going to create another version.
So for the guys who don't know, this is uh, the CEO and co-founder of Bitcoin.com.
And so there was a guy called Armuri Sachet and maybe another developer who basically said, okay, screw it, we're just going to fork Bitcoin and we're going to create another version of Bitcoin and call it Bitcoin Cash, which will have bigger blocks. And it's very important, like Bitcoin.com didn't fork Bitcoin, Roger Ver didn't fork Bitcoin, someone else did. So this group of people forked Bitcoin, and we just decided to basically back it and say that we believe that this is now what Satoshi originally envisioned in his white paper, meaning Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. And looking back in terms of like what we did with Bitcoin.com, calling Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin Core, like that was a terrible mistake, and I truly regret it. I wasn't the CEO at the time of the company. I was the COO. So basically, I was being told what to do, but like I'm not trying to find excuses. Like I still did what I was asked to do, and I should not have done those things, and I regret that. But I think it's also part of like someone's.
What an honest conversation, right? What an honest conversation. And I think what you said totally resonated with me, and I said, wait, I have a video to prove your point. So guys, we are almost at the end. Please tell me, what are the right questions that I'm not asking on behalf of our audience?
If I may.
Please, Arun, go ahead.
some lights on the AI, because it's very important at times like this when the market is low and Bitcoin miners are bleeding. Because, yeah, we talked very optimistically, but not every Bitcoin miner are sitting in cash to pay the electricity bill. Many are selling the partial output to pay their bills. So AI is, so we, like I said, I started as a company and then turned into a Bitcoin mining. Now we are a full blown AI infrastructure company where we produce hardware and software for sovereign AI and AI factories. So what we're trying to achieve when Bitcoin itself is long-term high value returns, selling that today is due to the pressure is a very bad idea. Wherein when you're utilizing portion of your infrastructure to host or co-locate AI applications is bringing in a very consistent and very generous income source, which in turn helping running the Bitcoin miners without selling the output. So that's how I strategically position the AI. So when we are thinking it at a small scale and a large scale, now we are doing it at a large scale for, let's say, like 1 exahash miner. We are now reimagining that to home user. So every home user who is having this home unit will also have an AA unit, which they don't have to purchase. They can run it as a co-location in their home. So every home can run a small compute power, which can contribute to the massive AI requirement. Because I believe in next 10 years, no company, no single company can afford to run a data center for the demand that what is existing out there, because the people's demand for the electricity at the rate that they want cannot be matched. The margin will grow thin over years. So I believe decentralizing the energy for both crypto mining and AI will be the future.
Okay, so you're saying that, uh, so I'm there are two things that I'm a bit confused. So you're saying that your entire factory is AI enabled. That means you have robotics, you have AI agents, or how is it AI enabled? I would like to know that. Could you just answer that to the point? I'm sorry because we're like out of time. Louis, do you have? Okay, can I formally ask you guys? Can we extend this for like another 5 6 minutes? Do you guys have time? Do you have to jump on? What's your take?
Yeah, 5 minutes, no problem.
Okay,
Pleasure,
great.
pleasure. Yeah.
Yeah, go
So
ahead.
to quickly answer your question, AI factory means, for example, if you're running a chat GPT, you need an entire infrastructure for that.
So you're saying from the cloud perspective, from the backend perspective, right?
Exactly.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Okay. Louis, from the institution's point of view, uh, what questions have I missed out?
Well, what's actually the name? The grid war, AI versus Bitcoin. I think what's an interesting question is how can these two different but also very similar business types actually be a symbiotic to each other, which I think they can do very well. As I'll also answer then my own question very quickly. So the big challenge of AI is finding cheap electricity that's fastly scalable. Now, what are Bitcoin miners super good at? Finding cheap electricity that's already there or stranded, and quickly making that usable, because time is Bitcoin in mining, right? So we cannot wait 2 years to finish 50 megawatts somewhere. So I'll take myself as an example. We as a company, we are got very good at finding cheap electricity at quite high capacity, which they all have troubles with. But so what if you are raising money? You will have the money in a year from now. But in the meantime, we just use that same site to mine Bitcoin. Then we upgrade it, and you can do your AI or other types of data centers, things you would like to do there. I think there's not enough uh, working together in that space yet. And of course, you see a lot of big miners selling their electricity to hyperscalers, but it can also be done on a much smaller scale. and doesn't all have to be hyperscalers. And I think there in the future you will see many more collaborations between AI scalers and smaller Bitcoin miners, which again makes it a more of a total space and gives it more access to institutional capital, etc. And I think that's what's going to happen next.
Well, thank you so much for your time. We are at 1 hour 5 minutes. Yesterday we actually went a little over 90 minutes, but then let's keep it at 1 hour. A big thank you for Lewis and Arun for accepting the invitation. I hope you guys had fun during the conversation, because the idea is to always make sure, because Aura 8 we our focus is to talk about the future of money. The speed that the world is moving in is unfathomable. We are looking at things that perhaps might not exist in the next 6 to 3 months or 3 to 6 months. We are looking at new opportunities that we perhaps don't even know of about right now. And that's the idea. We keep bringing in interesting people every day. We go live every weekday. I think yesterday we hit about 400K views on Binance. So, I don't have the numbers of this view. I'll send it to you guys. But for everybody watching us, remember this, that to move ahead in life, you need to take out an hour or two in life to keep learning and to keep moving ahead. There's just one thing that I want to tell you guys. I was teaching my kids today uh, the seven sins of life, which is gluttony, lust, and all of that. So I actually just want to share this with everyone out there. Replace uh, replace jealousy with, or envy with awe, right? And with groundness. Replace greed with abundance. Have gratitude. Replace lust with deep connections of pure love. Figure out how you can be content and balance. Explore compassion, and the most importantly, replace sloth with vitality and purpose. So tomorrow we are going to have this girl called Daria, and we'll be talking about something that everybody is scared of, and even these guys are scared of on the panel right now. Do you know? Can you guess what are we going to be talking tomorrow? What are you guys scared of? What is everybody scared of in this world?
I'm not the right one for that.
You're not scared of anything.
No,
What is that new
no,
technology that everybody's scared of?
Yeah,
Let me give you.
I'm not scared of it.
You're not scared of it. Anybody out there can comment down?
AGI?
Quantum computing.
I'm not scared of it. No,
Oh, you're not scared of
not
it.
at
Okay.
all. Not at all. No,
Well,
like it's a very
we
good.
will have Ben also.
You began with some spirituality, and that's exactly the reason why I'm not scared of anything. Because the thing is, like, what's the only thing, if you narrow everything down, what you can be scared of is dying. Everything comes back to that. And so if you really go, if you ask and keep asking and keep asking, it always comes out to dying. So I'm, if I could say I'm afraid of anything, it's probably dying, because I don't know what it feels like, right? But the rest, I'm not afraid, because it all ends up in dying anyway. So I'm scared of
Every
everything and
entrepreneur
nothing
says
at
the
the same
same.
time.
Every entrepreneur says the same, right? Every
Majority,
problem has a solution.
Every problem has a
majority,
solution. Yes, we are
Yeah, we have
entrepreneurs.
seen so many problems that we're no longer afraid
Yeah,
of problems.
exactly. I'm not afraid of any challenge. It will come anyway. If I have to go through it, it will come anyway. So it doesn't matter.
very well said. So all our traders out there who are scared, or who want to give up their lives because they lost a few $100,000, your life is more important than the $100,000. And in fact, Louis, there
Yes.
is a a beautiful proverb in Hindi. So I'll say it in Hindi. I'm sure Arun might not even understand Hindi, though he's from India. Uh, it goes like, मौत तो नाम से बदनाम है, तकलीफ तो जिंदगी देती है, which means that death unfortunately is defamed, because the real trouble is in life, not in death.
Yes.
that is when all your problems are over.
Right.
Yes, and to people that ever lost a lot of money, if you know how to make 10K, never be afraid to use 10K to make 20K, because you always know how to make 10K. So don't worry, right?
Oh, say that again. Say that again. Say that
If you
again.
know how to make $10,000, don't be afraid to use that 10,000 to make 20,000 time and time again, because it doesn't matter if you lose it, because you know how to make 10K already. And that's why only invest what you know how to make already, so you can always start over. It's not an issue. Like, I've lost millions in my life. I wouldn't even have to work if I didn't invest money, if I'm being honest. But the thing is, like, what the things I learned by failing so hard now make me capable of carrying in my vessel probably hundreds of millions, because I made those mistakes with 1 million and with 100K and with 10K, and I lost them all. You need to know what it feels like to lose 1 million before you can carry the responsibility of having 10 million on your. And it's also, that's why there's so little people that go from zero to hero in a year. It almost doesn't exist. You don't know how to manage when it goes wrong, and it's very easy when it goes right, but it never goes right. Nothing always goes right, but you never see it. Nobody talks about it. It's and that's where you become a better human. And how do you solve the problem of losing 1 million? That's where you meet. That's where you meet your maker. And not when you win $1 million in the lottery. That's easy, right?
Well said, actually. That's really
Yes.
good. Yeah.
Well,
You
thank you.
know, when the lunar crash happened, we all know what happened to the market. I unfortunately cannot remember the guy who tweeted this. He said, I've lost my entire life savings. I'm broke right now. I lost about $2 million. But I say that if I cannot make another $2 million, then I didn't deserve this $2 million. Um, at that time, for whatever reason, it was great, but I still believe uh, exactly what Louis said, that take risk in life and take risk irrespective of the age. I have 6 kids. I'm going to turn 40 this year, and I love risk. In fact, in the morning I was teaching my kids risk reward ratio. Uh, Figure out your risk reward ratio, but please take a risk is the only thing that can possibly give you an asymmetric return, but depends, how much risk you're taking and what is the opportunity. But I'm a big fan of risk. But then, I think the people around us and the world around us, who perhaps are not financially literate, are have misused the word risk, right?
They gamble. It's gambling, but they
Yeah,
gamble.
yeah,
Yeah, they
yeah,
don't take risk. They gamble. Yes,
yeah.
and gambling. The only difference, in my opinion, is that if you if you use a roulette table and you toss in the
You
ball,
can still,
it
but
can,
no,
can
but
be red, black, or
you still
green.
hit your bets.
Yeah,
But
and
but
it
you
and
hedge your
taking risk looks the same for them, but it's not, because you can influence the outcome a bit more, and with roulette you cannot, right? It's unless you bribe the croupier. So, but no, but in essence, like, and that's the only difference. Like, yeah, and I've also, in the beginning when I was trading, that's also gambling. So people also think when they start trading on a platform or a broker that you're a trader. No, you're gambling. The first period, that's gambling, because you have no idea what you're doing, and everybody knows better than you, and so they're going to take all your money, guaranteed, 100%. Like, I've never met anyone that starts trading and that makes a consistent 10K a month in the first few years. Now you're gonna lose 10K every day for the first few years.
But then
Yes.
I think that is when you start learning seriously, right? There is a
Yes.
price that we all pay. There is a beautiful proverb that says that there are no free lunches, right?
Oh,
There is a price that we all pay. It can be a price of karma. It can be a price in
yes.
dollars. It can be a price in relationships. Uh, I'm sure you guys would have, if you guys are new, you might not know this, but when Board Ape Yacht Club released their land in the metaverse, the gas fee went up to $20,000. People went berserk. Uh, Somebody, one of the Bode yacht club holders was trying to claim the land, and he got so frustrated. He actually abused his, wife, and asked his son to get out, and then broke the table, the glass table that he was working on. These are stresses that everybody takes while they are doing a high volume transaction. But keep your head calm. Uh, um, I, it might sound cliche, but it works. Do yoga, and I think for every trader, you should go to Vipassana. Uh, have you? Do
Oh
you
yes,
know Vipassana, Louis?
yeah, of
Great.
course I know Vipassana. Yeah, I meditate like 2 hours a day at least, and
You do?
breath works and etc. I don't do yoga specifically, but that's because but I'm very much tapped into that, and I already do that for about 8 years. And it's the same thing like you said, like when you lose 2 million, you're probably not supposed to have it. But what the universe also does, or God, or whoever you think it is, um, um, it first is going to give it to you, and then it's going to take it away to show you, basically, in my opinion, and this is all my opinion, but that's to show you if you can still be happy without that, and when you can, you will get it back also. And it's like a game of show and tell, where first let's see who you become when I give you everything, and then we'll take everything away and say if you still stay true to yourself, and then you will get it again, and much more of it, by the way. So I've seen very little people that are capable of making 2 million and bash it away that will never come back again. There are very little of them, unless you give up, and that's but that's also a phase. You cannot give up forever. Right?
You know, Arun. Uh, every man has to go through a winter cycle.
Oh yes.
Uh, Especially for men. I'm not being sexist and stuff, right? I have 5 sons. I'm just talking from my point of view. This is the kind of stuff that I talk to them, and since we are all like 3 boys here, uh, I think that winter period that you see in your life, 3 years, 4 years, that time that lasts, um, actually turns you into a man from a boy, right? You get to know who you really are, because honestly speaking, nobody knows who they are. Yesterday, we had a couple of amazing traders who have been trading uh, for over like 8 9 years, and they say that, I think now we know who we are, and I call them out on the bullshit. I'm like, if you already know who you are, then where is your trillions, like at least like a couple of $100 million, right? Because if you're trading at that level, you can never know who you are. You can only keep discovering aspects of yourself, and honestly, if you're going broke today, it's good. If you are losing your friends today, it's good. If you are losing the love of your life, it's good. Because I personally believe, out of my experience, three things teach you the best: empty wallet, hungry stomach, and a broken heart. These are the best three teachers. You know why? Because we are always in an assumption or a la la land of our own. We are not willing to see the reality. But when we get into retrospection, because we have got nothing else to do, we have nobody else to talk to, that is when we get into retrospection, and then we realize, oh, all this while what I was eating, thought it was some cake, turned out to be cow dung. So, guys, on that note, thank you so much
Yes,
for
thank you
being
too.
on this. And by the way, today is our 30th episode or our 29th episode. I'm forgetting the number. It is either of the one. And this has been an amazing conversation, especially after we doing the serious talk. And you know what? I think I should start talking to my speaker, saying that, hey, 1 hour we do serious chat, and then the next half an hour we talk about love, life, and a bit of work. That reminds me, Louis, I do a podcast. So this is a live stream. We will edit this and we'll put it up properly for the podcast later. But I drive people in my car and have a conversation with.
Mhm.
I don't know if you follow with me on Twitter. Hold on. We are having a trouble to your stream destination. Which destination is this? What happened?
We've been talking to a wall for the past hour.
No, no, no. Okay, no. Okay, it just popped out. I'm just trying to understand what is the scene. Was ended or deleted? Okay, okay, fine. So, on yeah, so I was saying that I drive people in my car and have a conversation with. I'll send you a link. I would love to get you on, Lewis, and talk about your journey of losing a few $1 million and then getting back in the game.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah, sure.
I think that
Everybody loves a good comeback story, right?
Arun, is there anything last that you want to say? Because you've been listening to all of us very carefully. Now,
Yeah.
see, he spoke about yoga and I spoke about Vipassana, and you're like, that's my backyard, bro. Like, what the heck, So, anything that you want to say, Arun?
Um,
Today, you do the closing of the uh, live stream. That's a lot of
Thank
pressure.
you. It's my honor. Um, like every entrepreneur, I went through my own hardships. One thing I learned, meditation didn't come to me. I tried so much. Um, One thing I learned, it's okay to do mistakes. Yeah, it will be pain. When it is a pain, it's okay to mourn because we are end of the day emotional beings, and then we need to recover. We take 1 or 2 days to mourn, then we recover. Being sad is nothing wrong, but taking the time will always help to rethink. The one thing I learned all my mistakes is whenever I do a mistake, the next time I learn about it, I prepare myself before I redo that. So basically, if we take a little bit time to study, learn, understand, and do it, because basically when you study and learn, it's basically we are studying and learning somebody else's mistake who went through the same path. Maybe it's not the exact path, but it always gives a guideline, what not to do and how to do, and then you improvise from there. So it always helped in my life. Like everyone has to go through the tough time, like you said, yes, but it always helps us to do it better following that winter period. Yeah.
Absolutely. Let's keep learning. Let's keep growing. And please come back to the stream again tomorrow. Tomorrow is quantum computing at 4 o'clock Dubai time and 8 o'clock Dubai time. We are going to have the godfather of cryptocurrency, Michael Turpin, talking to us about what happened in the market, what's going to happen later. Should we invest? Should we wait? Should we hold? What should we do? And remember, Michael Turpin is not a cool Gen Z influencer. He's called the godfather of cryptocurrency. So I will see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. Dubai time and 8 p.m. Dubai time.
Bye bye.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Thank you.
Bye bye. Thank you, guys.
Yes, thank you as well.